stopped shipping. They stopped their shipments to the United States, their imports. As of today, there are 33 countries that have announced that they have suspended their shipments to the United States due to the ending of the de minimis, which is a tax exemption, a duties exemption that allowed packages and shipments coming into the United States under the value of $800 to be duty free. That ended today. And before it could officially end, countries around the world had already started announcing that they're not shipping over here anymore. If you think that I'm lying, just head over to USA Today to look at the list of all of the countries that have announced that they are no longer shipping to the United States. All right. And just to give you a little idea, I'm going to read off some of the countries that are on this list. Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, India, Italy, Japan, and the list goes on. See, the UN's Universal Postal Union, right, which deals with the postal servicing of 192 countries, came out and stated that the changes will entail considerably operational changes for postal operators all around the world. And when the agency, right, was questioned by USA Today, they stated that they couldn't announce the names of these countries that decided that they will be suspending their imports to the United States. But then these countries decided to start announcing it themselves. They just started coming out and telling you guys, yeah, we're not shipping to the United States anymore. This should be bigger news, but for some reason it's not really being broadcasted. And I wonder why, considering that we are all going to feel it. For all of you guys who kept saying that we weren't going to feel any of the effects of what Donald Trump was doing until after the 4 years, we're feeling it now. We're feeling it now. Let me just let you know what we're all about to start experiencing, okay? We're going to be dealing with the increased cost of consumers. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying this from the beginning, but now you're really going to start feeling it. When you walk into those stores and you see that the prices actually jumped considerably, then you're going to start to realize the severity of what everybody was trying to explain to you guys. In addition to that, we're also going to be dealing with the impact on small businesses, okay? Essentially causing a lot of them to shut down. Why? Because the higher costs in operations, or it's going to take to operate their small business, as well as the loss in international consumers, okay? You're also going to have to deal with regulation changes. Now that all of these countries have decided to take a pause in shipping over to the United States, who's to say that they're not going to change how they deal with shipment and how they deal with tariffs? And overall, the trade relations is about to change in a way that a lot of us can't even handle. I'm going to be so honest with you. So yeah, all that talk about we're going to feel it in the 4 years, we're not going to really feel it right now. No. We're feeling.
Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shah, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shah, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. This is your Akim Azil, back with another quick lesson. And this right here, entitled, and they shall hate the whore, man. So, this is an example of what the true man of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai has been preaching and teaching to these people here in Babylon the Great, aka America. What time we're living in, first and foremost, coming from our elders, man, our teachers. And you can see examples right here. It says 33 countries have suspended their shipment to the U.S. And
we're feeling it now.
Salaki. It says, America is crumbling before our very eyes. And that's what's happening, man. See, it's a process. This society has to be created, pretty much prosper for a while, and then you see this empire, just like all the other empires before this one. They had to be created. They had their reign of rulership. Now the fall, the decline, and this is examples of what's happening, man, and like this individual said, pretty much what our elders, our teachers been saying for, decades now, what's going to happen to this place, man. And these people still want to believe that nothing is going to happen. Everything is business as usual. We're just going to hear as, quoting this dude. I ain't gonna say him, but this is just a phase, and then it's gonna get back to no man, this is a process. This place is dwindling. You know what I'm saying? As they said, slowly circling the drain. This place is going down, man, and it's evident. And I had looked up. I had looked up those countries just to to verify if everything's accurate or whatnot. And it says all 25 that suspended postal shipment to the U.S. are member states of the United Nations, man. So 25 of these 33 countries that refuse to ship any goods, services, etc. to the United States, out of the 33, 25 are part of the UN, man. It says as the as the Universal Postal Union, UPU, is a UN agency that represents member countries. These countries suspended services due to uncertainties surrounding new U.S. tariffs rules on small packages, man. So these people are not shipping anything, man, to the U.S. And out of the 33 that's not shipping, 25 are part of the UN. Well, I'm gonna put this in clarity. Being that they're part of the UN, these countries are quote unquote allies with the United States, man. So right there brings me to what? The book of Revelation, man. So I can give it some time to load up. I'm going to just go at the beginning. The subtitle of this chapter reads, it says, The Doom of Babylon, man. The Doom of Babylon, man. Which we know is Babylon the Great, aka America. And I'm going to start at, which is the point, man. I'm going to get to the point, which is Revelation 17 and 15. It says, And he said to me, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So this place, Babylon the Great, sits upon many waters, meaning it had many trade agreements with all these different countries, all these waters, docking ships, you know what I'm saying, import, export. That's what this precept is going into, man. Revelation 17 and 15, it says, And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So these different nations, different countries, all of them have trade agreements. Multiple countries, man. Many countries around the world have trade agreements with the United States, man. And let's read 16. It says, And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire, man. So this is an example. See, these nations, even these nations that are so-called allies with the United States, man. These nations, man, they're getting, not too friendly. And it's going to boil over to what? No one can escape prophecy, man. These are prophecies. So these things are bound to happen, man. So you're going to have this is pretty much a trade war, man. This is a war, but it's on goods and services, man. You know what I'm saying? These are trade wars. And then it's going to fall over or spill over to an all-out physical war, man. Because you already got countries that are not allies with the United States, which are what? a conglomerate of the BRICS nations and these collages of the UN nations, they're going to join in, not on the side of Babylon the Great, but with these other nations, and they're going to what? They're going to destroy, man, help destroy the place in this wicked place, this wicked society. And this is with these stopping of shipments to this country, man, this wicked society. These are just preludes to that, man. These are steps to that grand finale, man, to that climax. And let's read the Amplified version, which it goes off a little bit, but it says, "And the 10 horns which you saw in the beast, these will hate the prostitute and will make her desolate and naked, strip of her power and influence," man. So this place has what? On a global scale, it had a big influence on the world, and it had power, like the fiat currency, the Federal Reserve note was dominating, or had a big dominance on a global scale, man. So these countries, man, are going to do what? They're going to strip Babylon the Great, aka America, of its influence and its power, man. And will eat her flesh and completely consume her with fire. And that's going into those nuclear missiles, man. So we see, Tawada Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, we see, what's going to happen to this place, man. But these other people don't know. Or they want to play ignorant. They want to be like me and the Op be talking about from time to time. These people want to play willfully ignorant, ignore the problem. If I ignore it, it don't exist. But just like this young lady was saying, she said these people think that, after the 4 years of this, if we make it to there, we're just waiting because the Lord said he's going to speed up the time for the elect's sake. Lord willing, we ain't around till then. This place is not around till then, but another 4 years, But she said, no, these people talking like after the 4 years, we're going to feel the pinch. No, we're going to feel the pinch now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go into these shopping centers, getting your necessities, you're going to see how these items skyrocket due to what? The lack of them, those items, man, because these countries refuse to ship to the United States, man. I'm going to read Revelation 17 and 16 again, and then I'm going to close it out, man. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these will hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire." The Amplified version. "And the 10 horns which you saw in the beast, these will hate the prostitute," which is Babylon the Great, aka America, the whore that sit upon many waters, that have different trade agreements with these countries, "and will make her desolate and naked, strip of her power and influence." Everybody know this place has a big influence, or had a big influence on the world, man. That's why you go throughout the world, all the customs and traditions and ideology to an extent, even though you have those segments here, but it's a bigger influence. This place has a bigger influence on the world, man. Everybody wants to, mimic America and what's going on here, man. Stripped of her power and influence, and will eat her flesh and completely consume her flesh, man. So something that is completely consumed and will eat her flesh and completely consume her with fire. So like it, completely consume her with fire, man. That means this place, every square inch, every square mile of an inch or every square inch of a mile is going to be touched, man. It's going to be scorched, you know. And we already know that's prophecy, man, because this place was built on what? Rape, robbery, murder, bloodshed, atrocities, actually iniquities, you know. But they want to walk around, act as though they're more innocent, as I call it, than a newborn baby. You know how people look at it, so innocent, you know. That's how these people look, especially these pale-faced. They walking around like they innocent, man. But look, you can't flee justice, man. And I'm going to end it off there. Hope the body was edified. Till next time, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Again, this is your Akim and Azil. Lord willing, I'll be back with another lesson. Till next time, Shalom, Barak Thumb, Barber Ball, Shalom.